Hello, snakes. My name is Dante, and today it's Podcast Tuesday once again. And this time I'll be talking about top 20 best artifacts, which you can use in Commander, Modern, and many other formats as well. So, yeah, let's just head straight on to our number 20. And it is Ancient Stone Idol. Ancient Stone Idol is a 10 mana 12/12 artifact creature golem with flash, but costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature. Which in best case scenarios, if you're attacking with 10 creatures, which is a really likely thing to happen in a Locust God deck, for example, it will cost 0. Or if they're attacking you as well, or just any moment, you can just cast it. It has Trample as well, which is quite good. And if he dies, you create a 6/12 construct with Trample. So basically, if he dies, the only thing that happens is that his power halves. But his toughness doesn't. It's just really good, actually. And yeah, Ancient Stone Idol. Regardless, if it still cost reduction 0 or still paying the 10 mana, it will be above average. It's still, but not really the most likely thing to happen. But yeah, but in best case scenario, you might cast it for 0 mana, 1 mana, 2 mana. I think, I'm not sure. It's just too good. Let's just go to our number 19, which is Grim Monolith. Now, the thing is that Grim Monolith, I decide not to... the Grim Monolith, the thing is I decide not to put Basalt Monolith in there because it's not as powerful as Grim Monolith. I mean, they might be same power level. It's the Grim Monolith. But yeah, that's our number 19. It's a 2 mana artifact with doesn't untap during your untap step. Tap for 3 colorless mana, or pay 4 mana to untap it. So yeah, it's just the thing is that it's really good because what happens is you can use it infinite combo with many ways. You can use the new Zerda from Ikoria, Rings of Brighthearth, to copy its untap a bit. Wait a moment. No, Rings of Brighthearth only works with Basalt Monolith. I mean, Basalt Monolith is a bit more comboable, but the thing is that's more expensive than Grim Monolith in mana. Grim Monolith is it's 2 mana instead of being 3 mana. The thing is that Grim Monolith, cheaper in mana, more expensive to untap. Basalt Monolith, well, yeah, it's even. So you can just do infinite activations from Basalt Monolith. So then you can get infinite Crackdown construct. But Grim Monolith is quite good. If you want, you can consider them both equal power level. Not sure, but combos with Zerda, combos with Power Artifact, because Power Artifact will reduce the untapability cost by 2. So you can just tap for 3 colorless mana, pay 2 mana to untap it. And you get infinite colorless mana. Yeah, it's just so good. You can also turn it into a creature and use Training Grounds for it. Though it's less ideal for it. I don't know. This is our number 19. Let's just go to our number 18. And we have Alhamret's Archive, which is a 5 mana legendary artifact. If you gain life, you gain twice the amount of life. If you draw card, except for the first one you draw in your draw steps. Draw 2 instead. So yeah, what it does is like you can just you double your draws and you double your life gain as well, which is quite cool. It's like a boon reflection with a what was the blue reflection? Let's just see. Thought reflection. Yeah, like boon reflection and thought reflection built into one really good card. It's just so good. But the thing is that like Alhammar's Archive is legendary, so you can only have one of those, while you can have multiple boon reflections or thought reflections. Additionally, Alhammar's Archive is like it's the thing is that it's much cheaper than both of those cards. Like even boon reflection alone is actually more expensive than Alhammar's Archive in mana. And Alhammar's Archive is just cheaper. And no colors required as well. Well, yes, it's legendary, but like... Oh, well, Thought Reflection, the thing is that it's more expensive than Alhammar's Archive, but counts the first... But also doubles the first card you draw each turn as well. Alhammar's Archive can't do that, but yeah. Out of all, Alhammar's Archive is still like better in mana compared to Thought Reflection. So yeah, there's also Rot's Healer, I think it was called. It was this 4 mana 1/5 Rhino that has lifelink, and if you gain life, you double that life. Well, yeah, that's actually like cheaper than Alhammar's Archive in mana, so yeah. That's probably the only thing that might beat Alhammar's Archive too. It's a really good card. Let's just go to our number 17. And we have Averflux Reservoir, which is a 4 mana artifact. Whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you cast this turn. Pay 50 life. Averflux Reservoir deals 50 damage to our creature player. And that is a really good card. So yeah, Averflux Reservoir. If you have it, play it in Commander. Or if... Yeah, because if you have it, just play in your Commander deck. If you plan on casting multiple things in one turn, because you're going to need it. Like if you plan on playing like using Omniscience to play so many spells in one turn or stuff like that, or that Cheerios player in Commander, you'll need Averflux because you can just gain a lot of life. Because whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life. You gain 1 life equal to the storm count, and then you can pay 50 life to deal 50 damage to any target. So yeah, just literally just cast so many things, and then so charge yourself up, blast someone out, yeah, and then like continue doing that. That's really good for those powerful decks using Omniscience, like the Locust God. Layla decks also can work in some Bolus's Citadel decks, where you can just gain more life than the amount you spend for the spells. So yeah. Additionally, the thing is that it's much better compared to the Battle Bond, version, the Sentinel Tower, in which Sentinel Tower just straight up deals damage to players, deals damage to any target, instead of actually healing you up and then using that life to take down other players. Yeah, Also, the thing is that with Sentinel Tower, it doesn't count your spells. Instead, it counts spells that were cast on your turn. So if you can see lots of blue players on the table, then you can just use Sentinel Tower. But if you're a blue player yourself or stuff like that, use Averflux Reservoir. You're going to cast lots of spells in your opponent's turns. Let's just go to our number 16. And we have Amulet of Vigor. 1-mana artifact. Basically saying your stuff enter untapped. But really, the text is whenever perma enters battlefield tapped under your control, untap it. And that jumps trigger, so multiple Amulets of Vigors can work because using and stuff that enter battlefield tapped may actually in fact make you end up gaining more life. This is a card typically used in Modern, in the Titan Amulet decks. I heard there's this trick where you can get 4 Primeval Titans in one turn. Can I remember how it worked? I think I can. You can. I think it was like you play land, then you play a Sakura Tribe Scout. I think it was called. Yeah, there's this one snake that where you can just tap it to play a land. Yeah. Then turn 2, you just play an Amulet of Vigor. You can just what was it again? It was this. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, there's this combo. There's this trick in Modern where you can get 4 Primeval Titans on turn 2. Yeah. And there's the opposite card to Amulet of Vigor, which is Orb of Dreams. 3-mana artifact. Permanents enter battlefield tapped. And good thing is, you can try using them both. So your opponent's stuff enter tapped and your stuff enter untapped. Oh, and by the way, this can actually do some really cool tricks. You can have your stuff that enter tapped, and then they untap as well. So if you have multiple Amulets of Vigor, you can just tap for mana and stuff. Yeah. It's just really good. Yeah. Let's just get to our number 15. And it is Ankh of Mishra. 2-mana artifact, deals 2 damage when a land enters battlefield. It deals 2 damage to its controller. And yeah, it's really powerful since like literally you can just opponents play land, they take damage. Well, you take it as well. But then like it's really interesting because some players might like be considering not to play the lands. Works well with land taps because you can just evade playing lands, for example, and then you don't take the damage from Ankh of Mishra while you search the lands that you might consider playing when Ankh of Mishra is down or when you have a lot of life and stuff like that. And the opponents will be taking life. And there's this opposite card called Dingus Egg, a 4-mana artifact. Whenever land dies, deals 2 damage to its controller. Yeah, it's just a really good card. Oh, hello, Barrett's Vids. How are you? Oh, thanks. Thanks for the combo. Thanks for the compliment. Yeah. And yeah, the thing is that if you have them both, it can be quite problematic since anyone who gets a land, okay, they take 2 damage. Anyone who has one of their lands dies, or sacrifices them or destroys them. Okay, they take 2 damage. Like, making fetch lands, using Anchor of Mishra and Dingus Egg makes fetch lands nearly unplayable. Like, look at this. Fetch lands. You go like, play the fetch land. Okay, you take 2 damage. Sacrifice the fetch land. You pay the 1 life to the cost. Then you take 2 damage of the Dingus Egg. Then you get the land out. You take 2 more damage due to the Anchor of Mishra. Taking 7 damage just to fetch a land. Not worth it. Exactly. That's why it's just Anchor of Mishra is just so good of a card. And yeah. And also its opposite, Dingus Egg, is quite good. They might as well be in the same position, while Dingus Egg might actually be quite weaker. Not so sure, but yeah. It's really it's really good. Like, Anchor of Mishra, not banned for some reason, but it's actually really good. Quite surprised no one actually plays it, like the Anchor of Mishra, and yeah, it's just yeah, yes, I agree as well. Dingus Egg, it's just quite great because, like, if you just if you have a Vidalcan Aurea or Ley Line of Anticipation, and then the opponent would just be casting Scape Shift, you just go like, okay, Dingus Egg in response. Are you sure you want to sacrifice lands? And like, and then they probably will just choose to sacrifice 0 instead, or they'll just have to risk it and take the damage for the lands fetched. And yeah, it's quite good. It's not combos, by the way. It's not it's a artifacts podcast, but yeah, combos. Well, actually, yeah, I think a good combo is you can just use this Anchor of Mishra with stuff like there's this antelope where whenever land enters battlefield under your control, you gain 2 life. You can just use Anchor of Mishra with that card, and then you don't take damage from the Anchor of Mishra. But the opponents do. You don't gain the life though, but why does it matter? All you're here is just for the pain of the opponents. Yeah, it's just really good. Let's just go to our number 14. Simply number 14. It is Metal Worker, which is a 3 mana 1/2 1/2 artifact creature with reveal any number of artifacts from your hand, add 2 colors mana for each card revealed this way. And yeah, it's just quite good because like it can like give you like so much mana. Like, it gives you, yes, it's just so good. Like, you tap for so much mana. Just flip out all the artifacts in your hand, like 7 artifacts. You get 14 mana. Play them all down. Yeah, Metal Worker literally straight up says, play all your artifacts in your hand or stuff like that. Well, that is if they cost 2 or less mana. or stuff like that. You can just hoard them in your hand just to benefit from the mana ability of Metalworker. And yeah, it's really good. Metalworker, really good in some artifacts heavy deck. Potentially a what was it called? Yeah, Glisa commander deck using Umori as your companion, which will be like really good because like if you just use Glisa a Glisa deck and put Umori as your companion, you can just go like a full artifact deck and run Metalworker inside it, and it works. It just wins games in Commander and other stuff. It's actually not banned, which surprises me. Similar to the Ankh of Mishra. Yeah. Let's just go to our number 13. Now, Staff of Domination also enables so many combos with so many cards as well, which include the previous card, Metalworker. Now, Staff of Domination is a 3-mana artifact. You can pay 1 mana to untap it, 2 mana to gain a life, and tap it to gain a life. 3 mana tap to untap target creature, 4 mana tap to tap target creature, 5 mana tap to draw a card. So, and you use Staff of Domination with any creature that can just tap for so much mana. I mean, like, you can just use like stuff like Zerda and Llanowar, and Llanowar Tribe, for example, because like you can just tap Llanowar Tribe for 3 mana, pay 1 mana to untap Llanowar Tribe, pay 1 mana to untap Staff of Domination. Then you do it again, you get infinite mana, infinite green mana, infinite life, untap all your creatures, tap all of your opponent's creatures, and you draw out your whole deck. Metalworker also works the same thing, but for colorless mana. You can like if you for example have if you have 3 artifacts in hand, because it taps for 2 mana for each artifact. If you have 3 artifacts in your hand, you get infinite mana, infinite life, infinite draw with this. The opponent's creatures are now tapped, and yours are untapped. Just feel free to bring in with your crackdown construct and just instantly kill someone, because that also works to make a crackdown construct infinitely large. Yeah, it's a really nice combo. Yeah, I don't have it, but it's just really good. Staff of Domination. It's like one of the best cards. Like, it's so good in Commander and stuff. Yeah. And let's just go to our number 12. And we have Emberclave, which is a 6 mana legendary artifact equipment. Flash, costs 1 less for each attacking creature you control. Well, similar to our number 20, which is Ancient Stone Idol, only counts for your attacking creatures. And the minimum cost will be 2. So if you attack with 4, then it'll just reduce itself to its minimum cost, which is quite easier compared to anyone attacking with 10 creatures. But then if anyone attacks with 10 creatures, you can cast it for free, compared if you, only you, attack with 4 creatures, you can cast it for 2 mana. Wondrous Battlefield, directly equip it to something. And equip creature gets +1/+1 and has double strike and trample. Equip 3, played in standard, and sometimes played in Pioneer. It can just annihilate so many decks. You just play it in your Modern Knights deck or in the Mono Red deck, and you just annihilate the opponents. Like, literally, you just bring in and you just have a really big thing, equip the Emberclave, and just smack them. It's just so good. That's why I like it. It's just a really interesting card. Yeah. Yeah. It's just so powerful. And now with Agent of Treachery and Fires of Invention banned, Emberclave, all those mono red decks will now be rising to the top again, I think. Not so sure, but yeah. I think they're rising back to the top. Now let's just go to our number 11. And we've got Walking Ballista, double X 0/0 artifact creature construct. Enters with X +1/+1 counters in it. 4 mana, put +1/+1 counter in it. Remove a +1/+1 counter from it to deal 1 damage to anything. So it can just grow itself and shoot off anything. It's just such a powerful card. Also, the new art from the from the Secret Lair drop is really powerful. Like, it's really cool as well. Also, like, it's played in Modern, was played in Standard, and played in Pioneer. Like, infinite combos of Heliod. Also, infinite combos of infinite combos with Archangel of Fune as well, if you can give it lifelink. So yeah, it's just really good. Like, Walking Ballista can just win you games. Like, literally, it's so good. Even when you just play in your Tron decks, all those affinity decks, counters decks, the hardened scales and stuff like that, and yeah, prepare to shoot down all the opponents. Yeah, it looks like Optimus Prime, except it's actually golden instead of being that red and blue thing. And yeah, it's played in Vintage. Didn't see a Vintage deck that played it. I don't play Vintage, by the way. Do you play Vintage? Because I don't. I'm not. I don't really like. I really like. I don't play Vintage. I only know one person that plays Vintage, I think, and yeah. Yeah, I don't play Vintage. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't play Vintage, but it's just very played. And yeah, let's just go to our number 10 card. And we have Avervile. 1 mana artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put charge counter on it. You can also tap it to play a creature with seems to be equal to the number of charge counters on Avervile from your hand to the battlefield. Like, it's just so good because, like, you can get so many things out for free. Also, like, things that works with exactly. So in Modern and Legacy and stuff like that, you just keep it at 3. On rare occasions, you'd keep it at 2. So then you can just play down the majority of your stuff. Really good. I saw some like workshop vintage deck. Okay. Workshop vintage deck. Never heard of that. Wow. This is actually a really powerful deck. It seems like a really powerful deck. Wow. It just... Yeah. I understand. It's cool. Yeah. But now we're talking about the Avervow, which is a really good card in the modern format and in the legacy format. And it's really good. The thing is that it has to be equal, but not less for Avervow. So do not use it with some doubling season or counter synergies or stuff like that. Just to put down the biggest stuff. If you just go for biggest stuff, you won't be able to bring down the smallest things. I heard there's this the goblin deck. The goblin decks may sometimes extend the Avervow to 4 mana to 4 counters or 5 counters. They'll mainly stick to using 3 or 2. 2 is quite rare as well. 3 is usually the one. Well, if you have a 3 counters Avervow, you might as well just put the next Avervow on. On 2. Yeah. It's Affinity but vintage. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, Avervow is just a really good card. Let's just go to our simple number 9. And we got the Arcbound Ravager, 2 mana artifact creature, beast. Sacrifice an artifact. Put +1 on counter an Arcbound Ravager. Modular 1 as well. And yeah, it's just really great of a card. It's played in the affinity decks as well in modern. And by the way, if you don't know what modular 1 does, or what modular even does, let me explain it to you. Modular says this creature enters battlefield with n +1 counters on it, where n is just the count on the modular thing, which is modular n. And then when it dies, you may put all of its +1 counters on it onto target artifact. And yeah, you can sacrifice an artifact to put +1 counter on it. You can guess the top 5 if you wish. And yeah. Just try guess the top 5 if you wish. And once you've made your guesses, stay tuned to the end of the video to find out what was the top 5. So, this is the number 9, which is just really great. You just use it and it grows on. Like, you can use it with hardened scales, Arcbound Ravage. You just can be used to eat any of your artifacts in response to any removal, stuff like that. Goes itself. When you just try kill it, you can also eat itself, and then transfer all of its +1 counters onto the next artifact. Quite similar. It's played in all affinity decks, while in the affinity hardened scales deck, it's played alongside Arcbound Worker, which is basically the same thing as Arcbound Ravager, except it's 1 mana less and doesn't have the sacrifice ability. So simply it's just a 1 mana 0/0 with Modular 1. Nothing else. Let's just go to our Golden 8. And we have Pithing Needle, 1 mana artifact. As Pithing Needle enters the battlefield, name a card. Activated abilities of sorcerers with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. So yeah, it's just a really good card. Well, Sorcerer's Spyglass is the same thing, but it costs 1 mana more. But you get to look at the opponent's hand. Still, I think Pithing Needle is way significantly better due to it being able to cast it at cheaper cost. And yeah. Yeah. It's just so good. This is why it's such a very interesting card, very powerful. Just disable anything of its activated abilities. Now, Phyrexian Revoker is kind of like a Pithing Needle, but can't name lands and includes mana abilities. Though Pithing Needle can name a land, for example, yeah, but doesn't include mana abilities. So yeah, it's just quite cool. You'd rarely disable land of Pithing Needle, by the way, but yeah. Also things that Phyrexian Revoker is like a 2 mana and it's a 2/1 horror, so it's easier to die. Well, Pithing Needle is like really an interesting card. You just can be used to disable any planeswalker completely, except if it has abilities, except it has triggered abilities or body effects. So yeah, just turns off any Oko or Luca. Wait, what? Never mind. Okay. And yeah, it's just really good. Let's just go to a simple number 7. And our number 7 are all artifact lands, which is the full artifact land cycle, which is like the red one, the blue one, the white one, the black one, the green one, and Darksteel Citadel. Darksteel Citadel is like the colorless one, but it has indestructible. Still same power level. Thing is that Darksteel Citadel is the only one of those that isn't banned in Modern, while the others are banned in Modern. Additionally, they're quite good in Commander. They've been banned from Modern, so they're really powerful. Yeah. So it's just really good. Yeah. This is why it's just a really great card. Really great cards. I use Great Furnace as an example. But yeah, there's just more. There's Seat of the Synod. And yeah. Very, very good card. It's very interesting. And yeah, it's powerful enough to make it into our number 7 spot in the top 20 best artifacts. Let's just head on to our number 6. Darksteel Ingot, number 6. 3 mana artifact, indestructible, tap to add 1 mana of any color. Yes, simple as that. It's just a rock that's played in all commander decks due to it being able to tap for mana you need at any moment. It's like Commander Sphere, except it's indestructible. Can't sacrifice itself though. There's Arcane Signet, but like Darksteel Ingot can also, but rarely, work in formats other than Commander, but I think it's only playing Commander. Still, it's just really interesting how it can just... Yeah, you can guess the top 5 if you wish. And yeah, this is our number 6. So we'll be heading right onto the top 5 right after this. And it's so good of a card. It's like, if someone tries to destroy all the artifacts, which like you can just ramp exponentially or stuff like that with your mana rocks and artifacts and stuff like that. But then once someone just like board wipes all non-land permanents, that will include your mana rocks. So you have to like reset. So if you skip some land drops, you might be far behind. But Darksteel Ingot doesn't destroy itself. Really good. Yeah. Also, the art is quite cool as it appears to be shooting a laser, but it's not actually. I'm not sure exactly what it is doing, but yeah, it's just so good. The Darksteel Ingot. So now, what was your guess on the number 5 card? Right before the number 5 animation comes up. Number 5 animation. 3, 2, 1. Did you guess Darksteel Forge? Because this is the number... Oh, Sensei's Divining Top. Well, fortunately I didn't put on the top 20, but yeah, that was a really powerful card. I mean, like, it's only playing Commander since it's banned in Modern and Legacy. The thing is that, since I don't have it, the thing is that, like, Sensei Divining Top, it is powerful, but, like, some of these are significantly, like, a bit more powerful. Not so sure, but yeah. It was Darksteel Forge. It makes all your artifacts indestructible. 9 mana artifact. You can easily put down in Commander. And you just use Mycos and Flyers. Protect yourself from everything. Protect all of your stuff. Then just use. And then you can just go off and use a Nev disc. Boom! You blow up all of their stuff, but not yours. So yeah, this is... Okay, you guessed number 4 as Soul Ring? Well, Darksteel Forge, let's just explain it, but yeah. Darksteel Forge is such a good card, since it can just protect all your stuff. Well, all your artifacts, but then if you turn everything into an artifact, it protects all your stuff. So yeah. This is why it's just really good. It's just such a good card. If you're just that artifact player, then yeah, you can just use it to really great effect. Let's just go off into the number 4. So you guess Soul Ring and you guess number 3 as Wormcoil. Okay. So first we'll head on to number 4. And it's Mana Vault, the one in number 4. Now, Soul Ring is actually better than number 4. So, yeah. You were close, but Mana Vault is our number 4. It's a 1 mana artifact. Doesn't untap during your untap step. The beginning of your upkeep, you may pay 4 mana. If you do untap it, the beginning of your drop step, if it's tapped, it deals 1 damage to you. Tap to add 3 colors mana. So, yeah. Mana Vault is just like quite better than Grim Monolith because, like, well, yeah, costs 1 mana less. And, like, the thing is that it costs 1 mana less, yes, but the only issue is that you can't do infinite combos with Mana Vault. And if you don't untap it on your upkeep, then, like, you take damage. Still, it's just really good. So, yeah, it's just a really good card because if those those players that want to do a really good head start onto the game, onto your commander pod or stuff like that, you can just go off and use your mana vault. It's just really good turn 1 mana vault, and then you can just cast anything much earlier on the game. So yeah, quite interesting. Though Soul Ring is better actually. So this is the mana vault, which is our number 4. Let's just go to the golden free. Yeah, remember to do that if you haven't already. Remember to subscribe, like, and follow if you haven't already. But yeah, the number 3, it was not Wurmcoil Engine, but it is Blightsteel Colossus, our 12 mana 11/11 artifact creature golem, trample, infect, indestructible. If it will hit the graveyard, instead you read you shuffle into the library. Now, the thing is that it's much better than Darksteel Colossus. You pay one more mana, but has infect. Darksteel Colossus is quite weak because it has no infect ability. Well, it has trample, but yeah. Blightsteel Colossus is much better. And yeah. Wurmcoil Engine, unfortunately, it's not in the list. But yeah. You were close. It's Blightsteel Colossus instead. And now, number 2, Oblivion Stone, that's your guess. And number 1, Grim Monolith. Well, I can assure you number 1 is not Grim Monolith, because Grim Monolith is already our number 19, actually. So yeah. So it's not the number 1. Mana Vault, in my opinion, is actually better than the Grim Monolith. If you don't untap the Mana Vault, like, 1 damage isn't really a thing in Commander. Still, doesn't enable infinite combos, but yeah. You just have a great head start into the game. So, yeah. Blightsteel Colossus, that's our number 3. Now let's just go into the number 2 card, which is and it's Soul Ring. So it was not the Oblivion Stone. By the way, in case you haven't noticed, this podcast is excluding those Power 9 cards, excluding the Time Vault, yeah. Excluding the Motson, Black Lotus, yeah. So number 2 is Soul Ring. 1 mana artifact, tap for 2 mana. Simple as that. Played in every single Commander deck, similar to the Command Tower. And yeah. It's just so good. Soul Ring. If you want, you can re-guess the number 1 card, because you already know it's not Grim Monolith. If you want, you can re-guess the number 1 card, but it's quite obvious at this point. You want to guess it? Number 1 card? Okay, make your guess. So 3, 2, 1. Number 1 animation. Now we'll make your guess. Okay, make your guess. Make your guess. Okay. Still guessing. Sword of Fire and Ice, and it is Mana Crypt. Sorry, but you lost. Sorry, but unfortunately you didn't guess any of the top 5. But yeah, Mana Crypt is our number 1 card in this podcast. It's a 0-mana artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you fail to flip, you just take 3 damage. Tap, add 2 mana. Now this is better than Soul Ring because, well, it costs 1 mana less, so you can just head start into game much more quickly than with Soul Ring. And taking 3 damage in Commander isn't really that significant. Also, if you're one of those lucky snakes, you can just avoid taking damage or take damage not always, not all of the time. It's so good. That's why I said it was obvious right on number 2. It was because Soul Ring is our number 2. You commonly expect Mana Crypt to be better than Soul Ring, or at least Mana Crypt to be in this top 20 podcast. As you can see, Mana Crypt just shows up right at the end of this podcast. There. See? Now this is the number 1. The swords didn't appear. There's some artifacts. These did not have enough power level to be in this podcast. There's some which I personally believe are quite better, quite cooler cards as well. Really interesting. But yeah, this is the number 1 card. So yeah, remember to like and subscribe and follow if you haven't already. Congratulations, you've reached the end of the podcast. So why don't you like and subscribe, share with friends, stay tuned, and yeah, stay at home, watch my videos, watch my next videos and streams, podcasts. They'll be live every Tuesday at 4 p.m. GMT. So yeah, remember to stay tuned to them. Watch my videos too. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And bye.